It was the pass heard round the world.
It was.
I feel like a news anchor right now, starting with the punchline.
That's right. Lots of controversy.
Lots of controversy this weekend, and we're going to talk about it. Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm Chase.
And I'm Charles.
We are the RM Fantasy SMXperts here for our final episode or final show before the final round in the LA Coliseum this weekend for the SuperMotocross Championship. A lot to talk about, though.
There is.
It's winner take all for a lot of these dudes. And I just have to say that I am genuinely, I didn't know really what to expect with this three-round playoff. I didn't know if the riders were just going to be burnt out. They weren't going to care very much, how much energy there's going to be. But come to find out, this whole thing, I think, has lived up to the hype.
Oh, for sure.
I don't think it's been completely perfect. There's some things that I maybe would suggest they change, but they're not going to listen to me. But overall, Charles, and for you watching, definitely it's lived up to the hype. I think the whole seeding throughout the Supercross and Motocross season was smart.
Yep.
Because look at Chase Sexton. He has a 2-point lead over Jett Lawrence. The only reason he has that 2-point lead going into this final round is because he was the #1 seed from the regular season.
Yep, exactly.
And then look at Kenny. He's 3rd overall. He showed up a high point, gained a few extra points. So, yeah, I think it's done what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Things up. It's exciting. Different bike setups. People are kind of scrounging around.
Yeah, the tracks. Like when they said hybrid tracks, and I saw that first one in Charlotte, I was like, that's just like a speedway. And that one I think was a little bit more predictable. But then, yeah, they threw a wrench in it because this last race, Chicagoland, it's an outdoor track.
Yep. Real
right?
fast.
And you had some guys that were still struggling maybe to find, a lot of guys just bolted on their outdoor suspension. Some guys were starting with more Supercross stuff and going softer. I don't know, but it threw a wrench in it.
It did. And I was kind of surprised. I was expecting the sand to throw a lot more people off. And I feel like I barely even noticed that.
I have a bone to pick just because when you looked at the track map and when we went over that last week, the sand section that we were all excited about, was it even there? There was that one where they would come in and make a left-hand turn. There was that sand. But other than that, that sand section wasn't there.
Not really.
So I was pretty bummed about that.
I know.
Because I feel like that would have added one more element to the track where it would have been better for passing because let's be honest here, other than the top few guys, there wasn't that much passing that was going on throughout the night.
No.
But we still had some intense battles, which was fun to watch. I don't know. Give me your thoughts, everybody. What do you think? Has it lived up to the hype? You guys liking it so far? I'm excited, too, because they're going to take what they've learned this year, and obviously they're going to come back next year bigger and better and take what they've learned and throw that into next year's playoffs. So I'm excited for it. And I think the riders, after doing it one time, because obviously they were probably in the same boat where when they announced this earlier in the year, they're just like, I think at first they just thought, dude, 3 more races.
Yeah.
But now what they're seeing, how it's being treated and everything, I think a lot of people are coming around. Ken ROCZEN's been talking about how much he likes it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
But he also didn't race all outdoor season.
Yeah.
So he's kind of fresh. He didn't race his 11 nationals. He did
he's
1.
He's ready to go, and the world thing ain't working out.
He's been hanging out with the fam, taking vacations, and he's showing up fresh. While a lot of these guys, it is a long freaking Supercross, Motocross, and now this season, it's a lot of weekends.
It is.
So I understand why dudes are getting burnt out. But, yeah, anyway, it's pretty wild. Charles and I were talking about it. I'm going to, a little sneak preview here. Why wouldn't you put Kenny to win this weekend?
He was catching Jett.
I know.
At the end.
I know. Speaking of Jett, so real quick, remember, we've got prizes that are on the line here. So remember, we're triple points for this week's race for the players or for the riders, but also for fantasy. And speak of the devil, we had 3 perfect scores last week.
We did. We
so
got people
the $50,000 is in play right now.
Up for grabs.
Oh, my gosh. If you got one of the perfect scores, we'll show the leaderboard here in just a moment. How bad are you stressing out going into this weekend? Not only are you in the run for 10 grand, but now you could do the 50.
I would be freaking out. I'd be watching everything in slow-mo, rolling back the
And
tapes.
to be honest, it's kind of like Webb hasn't been a factor like we thought he was going to be. You're not worried about, okay, should I put Webb in my top 5? He's going to be in the wild card discussion for 7th this week.
Yep.
Plessinger's been 4th or 5th each round. Really, you just got to get ROCZEN, Sexton, and Jett right. And then you've only got really a Ferrandis or an 8. There's not, and I feel like the wild card's pretty easy this week, being 7th, because you've got Cooper Webb, Garrett Marchbanks. Like, there's a lot of guys that are pretty good picks for the wild card. So it's definitely in play, the 50K.
Oh, for sure.
You like that rhyme time?
I like it.
It's in play, the 50K.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, for me, is figuring out whether it's going to be AP or Anderson. I feel like those guys are kind of mixing it up.
Yeah, I do. AP, I think, is like the best. We'll talk about it. But that being said, so this week also for the top 10 winners, you get $300 Rocky Mountain credit. Got new boots, new helmet, goggles, gear bag, whatever you've been wanting to buy, you've been waiting. Well, you're a top 10 winner this week. You get $300 to come spend with us. And who knows? We probably have some top 10 winners that maybe won last week, too. There's $500.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Okay, so speaking of Jett, I would love to get everybody's take on this. Jett, a lot of people thought this was a joke, but he was given a written warning by the AMA for letting Kenny pass him. And we'll get to that whole controversy here, too. Like, let's just talk about this real quick. So Jett lets Kenny go by. We've got the footage, right? Jett slows down, going across that section in the back, waves Kenny by. And we're not talking made a mistake, made it look a little awesome. Like, he literally said, go by. So according to the rule book from the AMA, it says here, I'm going to read this to you. Do we have the slide, Sid? Okay, well, I'm just going to read it. Say hello to Sydney, everybody. She's back there. Say hello, Sid.
Hello, everybody.
Okay. Says, AMAP, I don't know what the P is, requires that all competitors give their utmost effort and complete to the best of their capability, striving to secure the highest achievable finishing position in the event. So clearly, Jett here, deliberately, because they also use that verbiage, let Kenny go by. And Jett did it to better his result overall, because it didn't for that moto, but what he was thinking about is how can I put more points between me and Chase Sexton?
Yeah. So
he intentionally forfeited the race, if you want to call it that, gave up the win so that Kenny, what he thought was math, and we'll talk about that. So the AMA said, hey, you can't do that. You can't pull over. I don't remember Marvin Musquin getting penalized when he let Dungey by. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Tomac was pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
In that press conference, he's like, you can fix a race. And just called out Marv, and Marv was just sitting there right there next to him and just didn't say a word.
Yep.
But anyway, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, because there's no betting in our sport.
There's not, but I mean, maybe they're trying to protect the underground bettors. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Here's what I think, though.
What's up?
Here's what I hate. And I agree with Kenny. Just in the press conference, I think it was the press conference, somewhere he mentioned that he was disappointed because he could have made a pass on Jett. Not saying he was going to, but he closed the gap. He said, somewhere he said he figured out where he was losing time on Jett because he was doing the yo-yo thing. Then he figured it out, closed it up, and I think he had 2 laps to go.
Yeah.
And it's possible he could have made an epic pass. Okay. So he's kind of robbed of that.
I mean, Jett obviously probably just didn't know. But anyway, so next time, lesson learned, Jett. Just make a mistake. I mean, you had a 16-second gap over section, whatever it was. Just slow down a little bit. Let Kenny get by. You can't just deliberately say, here, please go. Because if he doesn't do this and he just kind of slows down just enough and Kenny goes by, nobody's going to say a word about it. But I agree with you. I think Ken ROCZEN wasn't so – look, Jett's young. What is he, 19?
Yeah.
So he's like, I give him a pass. I don't care. He was doing what he thought was going to be best for him and the overall. Obviously, the math was wrong, so he did look foolish because he's sitting there and said, I had a big brain moment. Like he's just like this genius, like the intellect is out of this world. And then he says, the boys in the booth are going to love this. So he's like, he's in his head, he's like, oh, dude, like this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Comes back to backfire because the math wasn't right. Let Kenny pass wouldn't have changed the overall regardless. ROCZEN was still going to get second overall, even if he had stayed in second place in that moto. But so Jett thought he was going to put more points on Chase. So I totally understand why Jett did that. Like he was strategically thinking about the final race and trying to get a points gap.
Yeah.
So if you're in Jett's corner, you're like, yeah, like why wouldn't he try and do something like that? Now, if you're, let's switch gears and go to Chase Sexton though. So what does it say? A lot of people think he's scared of getting passed, which I don't agree with. I think he honestly just made a blunder with his math and just didn't get it right. Oh, well. But if you're Chase Sexton, are you mad right now?
Oh,
that
for
your
sure.
That your team made?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're supposed to be teammates. You saw them hanging out right before they went on, too.
Yeah.
Sitting right next to each other, watching the 250s. They're on the exercise bike.
They don't train at the same facility. They probably, I think they're cordial. They're not like friends, like they hang out, but they're cordial.
Yeah.
But if you're Chase Sexton, like, you got to be like, hey, dude, like, I'm your teammate. Like, I get it if, like, I wasn't your teammate, why you do that. But it's like, that's like, so if you're Chase Sexton, you're probably like, all right, that was kind of lame. I don't think he's going to be like holding a grudge or like let it carry over. But then if you're Honda, if you're HRC Honda, are you upset that Jett let another brand win the moto and try to screw over their other rider? So if you're Honda, you're like, hey, not only we want Chase to fit, we want you guys to go 1-2 regardless. So not only were you trying to get a worse result for your teammate, our other rider, you gave the spotlight to Ken Roxon on a kickstart Suzuki. Like, that's not good PR.
It's not.
So I wonder if he had a little chat with Honda. I wonder if Honda dudes in Japan were just yeah. I'd be curious to know.
Home row keys, they just peck.
We're not going to figure it out. We'll probably never know until 10 years from now when Jett's retired and he tells the whole story about that or something like that. Or maybe we'll get it early. I don't know. But anyway, I'm kind of curious to see. 61% disagree with you, Chase. Well, I don't care. Okay? I don't
61%.
Big brain move here. So, yeah, that was a whole controversy. I don't know. And then Kenny. See, same thing with Kenny. I think people are maybe blowing this a little out of proportion. Kenny, I think, was more upset, not because Jett said, here's a baby gift, which Kenny said in his post. He said, I don't need your gifts. Here it is right here. And Kenny's just saying, hey, look, what did he say? Let me read this here. Oh, it's not there, is it? Where was it? I really appreciate Matt's not make difference whatsoever in the overall anyway. Oh, second main could care less about a oh-so-kind baby gift.
Yep.
So when Jett said that on the podium, I'm sure Kenny's probably just rolling his eyeballs like, dude, don't come up here acting like you're just trying to gain popularity by saying you gave me a dad gift. You didn't let me buy because you wanted to give me a dad gift. You let me buy because you were trying to, gain points on your teammate.
Yep.
So don't try and sugarcoat it like you were doing me a solid.
Yep.
Like, you weren't motoing down thinking, oh, yeah, Kenny just had a baby. Let me give him a gift. No, that was not the case. So I think that bugged Roxon a little bit. And then Kenny talked about it, too. He said he was also upset because, look, up to this point, and I think he's absolutely right. Chase Sexton has caught Jett, but has not passed him, right?
Yep.
And so Roxon was the first guy that we thought, like, here it comes. Like, okay, I take it back. People passed Jett in that first Charlotte race. But nobody has caught and passed Jett while leading.
Yeah.
So
he's out.
Kenny, I think in that moment was like, this is my moment. I'm going to be the guy that is going to catch and pass Jett and freaking show him what's up. And then Jett just lets him by. And Kenny is like, dude, you kind of ruined the moment. Like, 100%. I had this shot to freaking just, could you imagine, though, if he'd have just passed him straight up? Because the crowd, I guess, I'm assuming the crowd could see what's going on in the Jumbotron at the stadium, at the Speedway. But anyway, so I just kind of robbed the limelight or the spotlight from Kenny a little bit. So I understand why Kenny's upset on both fronts. I understand why Chase would be upset. I understand why Honda would be upset. But if you're in Jett's corner, I understand. You'd be like, I understand why he did it. Yeah. Jett wasn't thinking about the AMA writing him a note saying, hey, don't do that. No, he was just thinking about points, which is smart.
It is.
So I hold no grudge against Jett. He's young. I think he'll learn from the whole like gift to Kenny comment. Like, hey, dude, don't do that. And Ken Roxon is absolutely one of the riders this weekend where you don't want to give this guy confidence going into it. And you don't want to put a target on your back. You know what I mean?
No way.
This is a supercross race.
He's going to get real fired.
It's going to be tighter racing, I believe. It's, there's more 180 turns. We're going to show you the track map in here just a minute. So you don't let Kenny want to refund that baby gift.
No.
Because that could be
full
coming.
refund.
Full refund, dude. It's still in the original package. It's not been opened. Kenny might just return that for a full refund.
Exchanges accepted.
Yeah.
Striving and thriving.
So. That's right. Oh, look at that. Christian's just blowing up the chat. So if they don't like him saying that, they beat him.
Blasting people.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm okay. Here's the big storyline, though. Oh, by the way, congratulations to Joey Savacci announced that he did a 2-year deal with Triumph Racing. He's one of those riders. Everyone's been complaining about Ty Mashable not having a factory ride. Joey Savacci was top 10 or better in like 7 or 8 races this year in Supercross. I don't hear anybody talking about him. Why is he on a factory bike? So Joey Savacci signed with Triumph Racing. I believe it's 250 outdoors next year, and then full-time 450 in 2025. Yep. Dude, isn't it weird to say 2025?
It's super weird.
Makes me. I'm gonna be 40 years old in 2025, bro.
Man,
40.
Man.
It makes me feel old. That is a milestone. It makes me feel old, dude. Jeez.
Anyway, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that Triumph bike does.
I know, I'm excited. Here's the big storyline, though. Sid, throw up the points here real quick. And then we'll get to player stats and some stuff. So right now, just for everybody watching, in the 250 class, it is winner take all between Hunter Lawrence and Hayden Deegan, right? Mm-hmm. Here's what we have right now on the line for fantasy.
Well, we got Shimoda in there too, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. Shimoda, Lawrence, and Deegan. Like, those guys are separate. So from first overall to second overall this weekend, it's a 9-point gap, right? Mm-hmm. So there are 7 points separating those top 3. So it's a 3-race battle. Whoever gets the overall out of those 3 is going to win the title for the 250 class.
Yep.
Holy balls to the wall. Is it going to be in the 250 class when that gate drops? Can you imagine Deegan and Hunter and Joe like in a 3-way battle, knowing like whoever wins this moto wins the overall?
Yeah, Deegs said he's bringing the Deegs, and you already know what that means.
I really want Deegan to ghost ride his bike, dude.
That would be so sick.
But get this too. How could the stars not align even more than they have now? Do you know where Brian Deegan, right, ghost ride his bike, Hazeman want to do it?
97.
Where did he do it?
L.A. Coliseum.
L.A. Coliseum. So not only does Hayden Deegan have a shot to win this thing, it will be in the very stadium his dad ghost rided his bike, which was the last time we ever raced in that stadium. History, folks.
True.
But it can't just be a moto win. It's got to be for the overall.
So I'm kind of curious, though. Shimoda's been riding really good.
Dude,
and
really good.
He was coming up on
Hunter.
Lawrence. Yeah.
He was ahead of him and then had the bike problem. Remember that? Shimoda was ahead of
second moto. I was thinking first moto.
Yeah.
Got the whiplash.
Oh, yeah, we have the replay right here. Oh,
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, and he was wearing the
bounced
Band-Aid
him off the bike.
Yeah, had the Band-Aid in the press conference. It must have hit him real
hard.
From
this angle, it didn't. Oh, dude, yeah.
So, but he was catching him.
And did you see him feel his chin and then look down for blood?
Yep.
That must have hurt, man. And that's with the crossbar pad. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're good. So there was that. Oh. And then he was leading all that second moto, and then he started looking at the bike, and that's when Hunter passed him.
Yeah, the bike problem or something.
Now I'm like, man, I wonder, Shimoda's been doing really good.
Joe's the fastest guy.
I kind of wonder he might take it.
Either one of those 3 could win it. It's going to be. It's going to come down to the start. Like, you're going to be on your toes. Okay, so that's the 250s, right? Here's the 450 situation we got going on right now. Between Chase and Jett, it's winner take all. If whichever one of those 2 wins, if they win the overall, they win. But here's the kicker, though. Kenny is 10 points back of Chase. So if Kenny wins the overall, Chase has to get 3rd or worse. Yep. And Kenny could win.
Yep.
Could you imagine, though, if it was just like a 9-point gap and then it was literally just winner take all between all 3?
That would be crazy.
So anyway, that's what has to happen. For Chase and Jett, it's winner take all. For Ken Roxon, if he wins, he needs Chase to finish 3rd or worse. He wins the SuperMotocross Championship and $1 million. Man, it's $1 million up for grabs between 3 guys right now. That's a big deal.
Yeah, they're not going to be holding anything back this weekend. That's for sure.
Anyway. Yeah, Christian says it's going to be Zacho Savacci type takeouts. I don't know if it's going to be takeouts, but it's going to be, Rubbin's racing, quote unquote. Yep. Cold trickle, dude. Days of Thunder.
There's blood in the water after last weekend.
Dude, imagine Hayden Deegan if he's got to make 1 pass for the overall. Mm-hmm. Dude, there's no holds barred. It is going to be unreal. Yeah, so I'm excited. I think it's going to be really good racing this weekend, and I will be there in the Coliseum. Come say what up, folks. Come say what up. I will have some track walk passes, but they are limited. So I will do my best to give track walk passes out to people that find me there, but they're going to go quick. So try and hunt me down if you're going to be there. I'll try and be looking at Discord and whatnot, but yeah, so just FYI, I'm going to be there. So
I do have to say something about that.
What's up?
You gave me one for Supercross, and man, you don't really appreciate that Supercross track until you actually walk it and realize how steep and how big everything really is.
Oh, no,
it's really
yeah.
cool
If you've never done a
experience,
track walk, you got to do it. They're unreal.
Go find them.
I hope Chase don't fall again. We'll see. But anyway, here are your results. Jett Lawrence, Ken Rocks, and Chase Sexton. Man, AP's riding good. I feel like he's just a start away from the podium.
Oh, yeah.
AP could be that big spoiler this weekend that just ruins that last perfect score.
Could be.
100%. Dylan Ferrandis, and then our boy right here, Ty Masterpool, bringing in the wild card. So how'd you do on points, by the way?
I don't want to talk about it.
So
I'm ashamed. I did okay. I did 70 points, so that means 35 regular, which is not that great.
Dude, I got 50. I have 75 points, like, total. I think it was Gunny posted the meme, and it was like the Chris Farley one where it's like you look at your score and you think you did great, and then you forget it was a double or triple point round.
Yep.
Double point round, I got 50. I did the same thing where I looked at my score. I was like, yeah, it's not too bad. I was like, oh, it was a double points round. Like, that means I sucked. I didn't get a single pick right.
Dang. Well,
it's depressing.
I gambled on Chase.
Since you've come on the show, Charles, you have cursed me. I have just been so bad. All of outdoors and all of SuperMotocross, I've been doing terrible.
We got to get you a lucky rabbit's foot or something.
Oh, my gosh.
Change it.
Okay. Here is the player leaderboard, though. We had 3 perfect scores in this last round. So, Dino, 6'1", 6'10", live. Dean Wilson fan? B Giddy 5, okay. Moose.
And Moose Munch.
Moose Munch. Interesting name.
Yep.
So 3 perfect scores from last week. And what's crazy is that neither one of those 3 are the top 3 in the leaderboard. Or no,
Well,
Dino
Dean.
6'1" live is 6'10" live. Okay. But it's triple points round this week. So one of those 3 could win. And it's triple points, so there's a lot up for grabs. And you got to remember, too, going back to fantasy, the guy that won the second place bike wasn't even in the top 100 going into the final round.
Yeah,
So
triple points, anything could happen.
There's no guarantees. And
Pressure's on.
we're not dropping the lowest score either. It's just all 3 totals combined.
Yep.
Oh, dude. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be a good weekend.
Oh, gosh. Sid got 50 points, too. Sid and I are just in that.
I don't want to talk about it.
We're in that lonely little tee-hee
I was on
floating
the
in the ocean.
Sexton train. Sexton's going to take it this week. I still have him in his first place.
Who was on the Sexton train? He had just won one.
Yeah.
We should have known better when we saw that it was more of an outdoor style track.
Yeah. After qualifying, maybe we should have known. But
let's see here. So average score was 100 points. Again, double point round, which really isn't that great. I mean, that's just an average of 2 picks correct, give or take, right? Yep. 3 perfect scores. Yeah, we talked about those. Let's see. Less than 3% got 4 picks right. 9% got 3. Just under 30 had at least 2 picks right. Joe was the only rider to place in the position he was the most picked. Joe was the most picked rider for second or for first?
Yeah.
I thought Chase would have been. Anderson was the most picked rider to not score a point for fantasy. 60% of players had him in their top 5. He was a lot in 4th and 5th, too.
Yeah, he got me.
Burned everybody.
Yep.
Did you have
he had
I had
he
him in
had
my
a
top
crash
5.
first moto, I believe. So
Yeah, he went down somewhere.
he
Something happened. And then,
12th and then came back for 6th. Moto.
And then let's see. Plessinger was the least picked rider to make the top 5. What did he get overall? Do we have the order up here incorrect? Was I wrong on the order?
I thought he was 4th overall.
Do I look like an idiot right now? See my previous. We'll figure this out. Okay. Anyway, Charles, moving on. Let's see here.
Yeah, AP 4th overall.
Okay. Yeah, so he was in there. Christian, give us. Where you at, Christian? I'm just reading off what Christian said. Okay. So this week, let's see here. Top contenders. We want the pie charts. People like the pie charts.
They do. I like the pie charts.
You like the pie charts?
Yeah.
Look at Sexton and Lawrence, like 40%. I'm curious to see what it's going to be this weekend.
Yeah, honestly, if I was a betting man, I kind of like these odds in the order it is.
Right now?
Uh-huh. If you're going with a safe bet, if you're going to mix up the gamble and try to win big.
Well, to beat you, I have to go big this weekend. Like, I can't put Chase or Jett in first, basically, or I absolutely can't do what you do.
Yeah, if you got a high score, that's looking pretty safe, top 3.
But okay, Kenny was 52% of people picked him for third, and that is pretty even after that, surprisingly. Okay, yeah. All right, moving on.
There it is.
4th place, 5th place, wild card. Man, the wild card was pretty even too. Norrin, Masterpool, Nicoletti were all, and Nichols, all pretty close. I mean, Norrin was the most picked. Freddie Norrin, dude. What a legend. Okay. Track map this week. Sid, let's get it up there. So, LA Coliseum. This is okay, sand section. They better keep that in this time.
I know. That's going to be sweet.
But LA Coliseum is really big. See, long start. But this is a supercross track without a whoop section. Mm-hmm. We see sand sections in supercross all the time. This one looks really long. And what's crazy, though, what I saw, Chuck, that kind of surprised me. I like that, the little single after the start.
That's way cool.
I like it because it mixes it up a little bit because those guys are coming out of that gate wide open, right?
Yep.
If you got to be careful not to wheelie going over that thing.
Yeah.
When you're full throttle second gear, you have to use a little clutch control.
No wheelie, keep traction on the landing.
Yeah, so I think that's going to mix it up a little bit. That could make or break a start, so I like that. We've got some 180 bowl turns finally.
Yeah.
Like, going to be good passing opportunities. Man, this track layout just looks big, too. I wonder what the lap times are going to be. So, go up and over. This is always really cool because there's this big step-up jump where they hit this and fly all the way up to the top. Yep. Here's what's crazy to me, though, is when they come down here, that's cool little split lane right there.
Yeah, the split lane.
Dude, they jump into the sand.
That's awesome. Yeah, whoever has to take that right split lane, that's because you got forced into that. Like, that's a time loser, looks like.
But we saw that in Charlotte, though, where they had that split lane, and you're like, oh, dude, there's just going to be one fast lane. Nobody's going to take the other one. Yep. Dudes ended up going both sides all night long.
That's true.
So you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking because of the jump in there, but yeah.
But I don't know. It looks like it's going to be a fun track layout. I'm excited to see just a legit supercross race. I don't know. What do you guys think? Curtis loves all the bowl turns. Go ride. Let's see. I don't know. So, Krista. But is Webb a sneaky pick for this track? Because it's a supercross track with no whoops?
I don't know.
Gosh, dude.
I don't know. I have a hard time saying sneaky pick.
I know.
Just based on the last two. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm excited, man. I have no idea where I'm sitting, but it's going to be awesome. It's going to be crazy. What scares me is just freaking coming out of that tunnel, man, jumping into the sand section. That's going to be wild.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, let's get into it here. Let's get some stats, kind of talk about the players and picks, see what we can figure out here. We'll start out with Chase Sexton. He is your points leader. Again, he has a 2-point lead over Jett. Does not have a whole shot yet. His starts, look, he's been really consistent. He's been third or better in all 4 starts so far. Hasn't finished worse than third. The question is, and everyone, he's been talking about this. I kind of feel like last week, Chase talked about how just outdoor style track, couldn't ride as fast as he wanted to because of the bike, which, I got to be honest, getting kind of old. We heard that all outdoors. But we saw what he did in Charlotte, where as soon as he got on a supercross suspension bike, he was clearly the best guy.
Yeah.
So how many people are going to take that and say, okay, Chase is my guy for this weekend. It's a supercross track. What do you think, dude? I don't know.
I'm torn because when they were on that press conference, they were talking about, oh, yeah, Chase and Kenny, you guys are more supercross guys. And then Kenny fired back.
That's not true. Kenny's won multiple outdoor championships.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's been more dominant in outdoors than he has in supercross.
Well, and that's what he said. He's like, I don't look at myself as a supercross guy. I look at myself as a guy that I can ride anything or something on the lines of that. And I don't know. If you're fast, you're fast. If you know how to get traction to the ground and ride the track.
I agree.
Then you're probably going to do really well.
So, I don't know. He's just – the thing is like – people talk about, too, how, like, Jett hasn't ridden Supercross on a 450, like a legit – well, one, he's been riding Supercross tracks, I guarantee you, a lot. Yep. And he rode Supercross tracks during this 23 Supercross season on his off time. So Jett is plenty comfortable on a 450, and so hopefully Chase isn't just assuming like, oh, it's a Supercross track, I'm going to be the best guy, because Jett's going to be just as good.
Well, yeah, we know he's pretty dialed on Supercross, and it's his birthday, so he's going to have added confidence.
Who, Chase's birthday?
Chase's birthday on Saturday.
Is it really?
Uh-huh.
What's he going to be, 25, I think? Or 24?
Yep.
That's right, 23, okay. All right, yeah. So he's looking good. What are you going to do about this next guy, though? What are you going to do about Jett? Who's going to put Jett in first? Torn between Kenny and Chase. Dude, go ride. I'm kind of in the same boat. I kind of dark horse. We'll talk about it. Okay. After last week, was he the best guy? Was Kenny going to pass him? Oh, wait. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll never know because Jett waved him by. I'm upset about that. Dude, I was on the edge of my chair hoping Kenny passed him.
Yeah.
And I'm not even like the biggest Kenny fan. He kind of cool guyed me a little bit in New York. I still,
not cool.
This little cloud hanging over me, but I was wanting him to see him pass Jett.
Hey, maybe he was just focusing on something else. I don't know. Maybe he didn't mean to cool guy you.
Okay. Let's see. He led every lap but 3 last week, thanks to the baby gift. He had the fastest lap in Moto 1. Man, he was almost a full second faster than Kenny, but Kenny said he made some suspension changes for Moto 2, which helped. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, he's 2 points back. It's winner takes all. I guess you just got to, and his starts were much better.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he whole shot at one of the motos, right? Moto 1, did he whole shot it? I think he led every lap.
I can't remember.
Yeah, because Nicoletti led laps in the second, but yep. I'm pretty sure Jett led every lap in that first one. So his starts, whatever they did from Charlotte to Chicago, his starts got a heck of a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm telling you, dude, that little single is going to mix things up more than people think. I'm excited for it. Yep. I liked at Charlotte, you notice, too, they had the little drop right after the start.
Yeah.
That was also a big thing because you had to control your clutch going off that start. So I like it when they do little things like that off the start that kind of make the riders have to think and be a little bit more strategic and skilled on stuff like that.
Yeah,
I like
it keeps
that.
it interesting, for sure.
They need to have a start that just goes straight up a steep hill.
Oh, that'd be so
they're
cool.
trying not to wheelie up the hill.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be way cool.
I've never seen that before.
That would be some carnage.
Like a drag hill, like just a drag race uphill. Hill climb first. That'd be kind of interesting. Okay, so let's see. Okay, here's something cool that I saw Jett do. A little highlight here. Again, this is Jett being Jett. Watch him hop into this rut. You know how hard that is to do? And that's at night on a dark track with...
Yep. I can barely ride through a rut.
I know, I'd barely get through that. And he jumped into it and just legs already out.
Dang. Got the skills.
Gosh, that's so hard to do. Like, you don't know how good that is right there. That is insane. And then Kenny goes through. Oh, my gosh, dude.
Yep.
And let's see. Jett screws up a corner.
Yep.
Was that your highlight? Did I put that in there?
Yeah, I feel like maybe he was feeling a little pressure from Kenny.
Right here?
Uh-huh. And, just a little foot dab. Came off the peg for a sec.
We're just so used to seeing him ride perfect, but all right.
Yep.
And then, we already showed you the pass. Nothing else to see here besides this.
Wave him on by. Big brain.
Big brain. Gosh. Just what a dumb thing to do, say. He should have at least, consolidated with his team first and be like, consulted, and be like, hey, did I get it right? Like, is this correct? They'd be like, no. He'd be like,
don't do it.
Okay. Like, don't talk about it.
So, yeah, I kind of wondered, too.
The PR person for Honda was just the back like this.
I know. Well, the crazy part to me, I was trying to watch the time. It seemed like Kenny gained almost 4 seconds, and I don't know if Jett was just kind of cruising at that point.
No, dude, I think Kenny was just the better guy.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
It was strange.
Yep.
Speaking of the lights, I like the green lights on the bikes. I'm curious, though, if it's distracting for the riders. Because I just don't know if what we're seeing on TV is what they're looking at, but it'd be kind of strange looking down and just having these bright green lights glaring off your fender.
Flashing, yeah.
Because they're pretty bright, dude. But I do like them. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about Ken Roxon here. Dude, he's my dark horse to win this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gonna take. I mean, it's not like okay. He's my dark horse. His starts haven't been as consistent, but look at his finishes though. Bunch of 3s and a 1, and this is a Supercross track where I think he's gonna shine. Remember, he won a Supercross race.
Yep. Won a Supercross race, and he's been prepping for a World Supercross, whether it happens or not.
Kenny's dialed.
Yep.
He was right behind Jett. I mean, I don't know. And I think Kenny's kind of one of those guys where if he smells blood in the water, look out. Like, I really feel like he really wants to beat Jett.
Striving
and Chase.
Yeah.
I think he really wants to beat those guys. So, yeah, I don't know. His average lap time in Moto 2 was 1.7 seconds faster than in Moto 1 because he made that suspension change, which blows my mind. Little clickers here and there, you could be that much faster. Because 1.7 seconds at their level is huge.
Yeah.
Like, that's unreal.
That's a lot.
That's a huge difference. All right, next up, RM Plessinger. Let's talk about him. He just needs to just get a start, man. AP has been good, but his start, look, he went 10-9 for his starts last week, but he's finishing in the top 5.
Yeah, 5.544.
He's only 3 points behind ROCZEN, though, and 3 ahead of Ferrandis. I said, do we have the pay scale out right there? Do you have the payout for the riders? She's looked at me like, what are you talking about? So AP is 4th overall right now. So to jump Kenny to 3rd overall, it's $50,000. For us, that's a ton of money. For these guys, $50,000, it's not life-changing money. But to go to 2nd overall, that's a lot of money. That's very unlikely.
Yeah.
But that's crazy, though, man. It literally goes in half. Okay. Yep. But, yeah, AP starts just haven't been that great. So, I don't know. He had the 2nd fastest lap time in Moto 1 last round, only behind Jett. So his speed has been phenomenal. He's just not getting starts, which is kind of weird because in outdoors, I felt like he was consistently starting in that top 5 or better.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, he was riding great. I had the suspicion to put him in my top 5, but
did you?
I shouldn't have. I mean,
why?
Just because it was wet and I didn't have him in my top 5.
Oh, you did?
I didn't. I should have.
Okay. How about Dylan Ferrandis, who, again, another top 5. I don't know if he's really getting that much attention. He definitely, this bike, this Yamaha, is definitely better in Supercross for Dylan than it is for outdoors.
Yeah.
So I kind of expect maybe a little bit better result. Like, I feel like Ferrandis could be a really good pick for 4th. So, I don't know. He started 5th in 3 of the 4 SMX motos this year. So he just hasn't really put on that charge to get to the front. But, look, 2, 4, 6, 5 are the results. So, I mean, yeah, he's a sneaky pick for 4th or 5th.
Yeah, real consistent dude.
Yep, I agree. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, after those guys, really, you start to get into the wild card, which is 7th place this week. So, I don't know. What's your... Oh, Jason, I know the lights are real. I'm just wondering if they're distracting. Okay. Wild card this week, 7th place.
7th place.
This is the biggie.
I think someone can go perfect this weekend because with it being 7th, it becomes more consistent.
Well, there's consistent riders finishing there, right? You're not just guessing or hoping. Like, you're not at 7th place overall. You're not thinking about Phil Nicoletti, who has to go to LCQ. You're not thinking about Masterpool, who has his appendicitis going on or whatever. You're really thinking about solid guys that you know are going to be in or around this 7th place spot.
Solid guys like Cooper Webb. I mean, look at him. Yeah, his starts 10-7, 8-6, and then his finishes 8-7, 8-7.
But Coop's the guy that could come out and podium this weekend.
He is. So I guess that is the gamble with him, but he's been consistent in this playoff, though.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's what I'm going with.
But those were like faster speed, more rougher outdoorsy tracks, if you want to call it that, right? And then this is going to be more Supercross.
Yep.
And that's where Webb shines. We all know he's a Supercross specialist. Webb is one of those riders where he is just, I mean, he won a 250 outdoor title, but historically on a 450, he's always been better in Supercross. take away his Yamaha, his first couple years on Yamaha. Those are just bad in and out. But anyway, so Webb, so his starts, just not great. 10, 7, 8, 6. Hasn't finished better than 7th yet. Wink, wink. So he's finished in 8th place in both Moto 1s and 7th in both Moto 2s. So, yeah, he's just a tick off behind these guys. The only guy that he's beating is Adam Cianciarulo. He's got the 7th best average lap time last round. Again, only asterisk I say is it was more of an outdoor track. So, dude, I don't know. I don't feel like Webb's the best pick for 7th, just because the track style this weekend. Justin BARCIA, let's talk about him, who I got to say is kind of like one of the more underwhelming riders up to this point. I really expected more out of Bam Bam. He hasn't really made a splash. Let's see. His starts, 1.635. Hasn't finished better than 4th in a moto yet. Last week, he got 10th in Moto 2. I don't know. Did he go down?
Yeah, he collided with Anderson. I think we have that.
That's
clip.
right. And then he tried to take him out with his bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stuffed it in
right
that
there.
sand. I wonder if he looked
Well,
up.
he
Like,
went down
hey,
and
Ando.
then, yep.
All right. Well, okay. So yeah. So he went 10th in that mode, but he got 4th in the first one. So he was up front right there. Yeah. I mean, he could have been 4th overall easily last week. So he's got the 2nd best starting average though in Moto 1. And he's tied with Anderson for 7th best average finish right now. Oh gosh. I don't know. What do you think, dude? I think Barcia's a better pick than Webb. I feel like Webb's going to beat dude, I don't know.
I'm torn. Yeah, I think it all comes down to track conditions.
A lot of people say they're picking Webb for the wild card, though. I'm telling you, Webb's going to be top 5 this weekend.
Dang.
I just got that feeling.
I'm playing it safe. I'm going with the 8.787. I think.
Who?
From
Webb? Like you're going with the stats?
With his stats.
Okay, well, Anderson's another one of those guys where he just went 13-6 for 9th last weekend, and he went 4-5 for 5th in Charlotte. Again, another kind of just underwhelming. Here's my take. I feel like Anderson and these guys, well, they get $100,000 for the win bonus, but as far as like the SMX playoffs, he's not going to make a splash as far as the top 3 goes. So I think, like, if the win's there for Ando, he'll probably take it. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm curious what their mentality is right now, because he's got nothing really to gain. It's not like Jason's going to go out this weekend, win the overall, and end up getting 2nd overall in the playoffs.
Right.
It's not going to happen, right?
Nope.
So he's not racing for, you could say a substantial amount of money that's coming up this weekend. He could get a win bonus or whatever. 5th place gets like $100,000 or whatever it is. But
it's more. It would be more for pride.
More for pride at this point.
Something going into the off season.
Anderson, I feel like, is one of those guys where he's just kind of riding this thing out.
Yeah.
Not probably going to take any risks that are unnecessary, just because it's not going to make that big of a difference in the long haul for him, just because of the points right now. But that's my take.
Well,
I could be totally wrong. Maybe Jason's like, I need to freaking win one of these things, and he rides like a maniac this weekend. I don't know. What are you guys' takes? Yeah, see, Ralph's got Webb for 3rd this week.
Dang.
Ajax, telling you, put Webb in your top 5, folks. I mean, if I eat my words, I eat my words, but I feel good about it.
Well, I hate to tell you, I think Anderson's going to be in the top 5, and then that pushes Webb in that 7.
What about AC, dude? I don't know. There's no whoops. It's a Supercross style track, which means it's not going to be as rough. So the arm issue might not be a thing. AC could be another sneaky top 5 this weekend.
Yeah. Moto 1 starts 9-9.
His starts suck.
Moto 2, 22-15. So I can't remember.
Barf.
Was there a crash on that first or that?
Well, the first one in Chicago, remember, that's when he went down. He jumped on that tough block.
Yep.
But still, I mean, and so I don't know if he's beat up or he had a really bad gate pick for that second moto. So that race, I don't really count it against him, but he went 9-9 before that. So I don't know. He's kind of one of those guys too, where I think he knows, like, I don't have the speed to beat these top 3 dudes, and I just need to ride this thing out. He could lead some laps.
Yeah.
But it's going to take 2 good starts, and he just hasn't really shown anything yet in these first 2 races that I'm like, okay, AC's should be a good top 5 pick.
Yeah, I think
WEBB just got way more motivation to have a good result in this last one moving into the offseason.
Yep.
So I don't
Especially
know.
if the new team wants to make a statement.
We got Nicoletti, man. Nicoletti just went 13-8. Is he a sneaky dark horse for the wild card?
Could be.
He does have to go to the LCQ, which he should be winning these, which he's done so far in both.
Yep.
His starts are good, though. 6-4, finishing 7-9 overall. So, yeah, he got 7th overall. Oh, dude.
Yeah, could be a great pick.
But the thing is like on a Supercross style track, I expect WEBB and Anderson, all those guys to beat him. So let's do some numbers here. Sexton, let's figure out who we think is just the 7th best guy of everyone racing right now.
Okay, so we got our top 3.
Yeah, Sexton, Lawrence, ROCZEN.
Yep.
Then you're going to have your other 2 guys that could easily get top 5 overall.
Ferrandis is pretty consistent.
Ferrandis, Anderson, Plessinger, WEBB. And then you got Nicoletti. And AC. Well, AC and Nicoletti, I kind of put them like AC ahead of Nicoletti. So Nicoletti's like the 8th best guy.
Yeah.
So unless like these dudes crash out or crash in a moto or have something bad, Nicoletti I think is just kind of like behind that pack.
Yep.
Especially on a Supercross track. So maybe AC is your best pick. Or a WEBB. What?
I kind of like a
Or
WEBB.
March
Still,
base.
I'm
You
sticking
like it?
to
Okay.
it.
Oh, BARCIA says Christian. I don't know. WEBB is 46. Okay. Most people are picking WEBB right now. I don't know. We didn't forget BARCIA. Christian, we talked about BARCIA.
Yeah,
Talked about how he's just not making a splash. I don't know.
I think BARCIA, he's going to be outside of the top 5, but I don't know if it's going to be 6th or 8th.
I don't know, dude. He's good in Supercross.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, it's going to be a mix-up because it's going to be good, though. I'm excited. This is going to be – I am just glad to see that all the hype, all the work, everything that's got into this right now, it is all coming down to this moment where you've got winner-take-all basically for 3 riders in the 250 and the 450 class, and we get – freaking 40 minutes of racing for each class. Like, it's going to be epic.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss this. It's going to be good. I'm excited for it.
Yep.
So, well, anyway, yeah, let's lock them in, Chuck. Do you got your picks up right now?
Let's say one more thing.
What?
We got Captain America for MX's Nations.
Oh, Plessinger? Yeah, we do.
Yeah, Captain America.
We got AP,
cool.
Craig, and Hampshire.
Do it for Dale.
Do it for Dale.
I think they're going to be good, though. I really do believe that they're already being discredited. They're already people already assuming like they don't have a shot to win. Like Australia's got to be the #1 team going into it with the Lawrence brothers, and then I believe Mitch Evans is their other guy who's a MXGP guy, I think. But anyway, I'm excited for that. It's going to be good. So those guys, and I think Craig and Plessinger, like they know that they weren't the top picks for that spot, and Hampshire, so that even puts even more motivation for them to be like, well, I'll show you why I deserve to be here.
Yep.
So I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Let's lock them in.
Okay.
I'll do my picks first, I guess.
Do it.
Yep. Look at that, dude. I got to go big. I'm going to go ROCZEN wins this thing. ROCZEN, Lawrence, Sexton, Anderson, Ferrandis, and I'm going AC for my wild card. What are you doing, dude?
Let me tell you something. 3 weeks ago, I would have said you're crazy, but that's not a bad pick. Now, for me, I'm doing Sexton. It's his birthday. I think he's going to have a little extra confidence, and I think that's what's separating him from winning, taking the win, just having – I mean, he's got the motivation of the money, but confidence. 2nd place, ROCZEN. He's got something to prove after last weekend.
Okay.
3rd place, Lawrence. 4th, Ferrandis, real consistent. 5th, Anderson. And then 7th place.
Webb's going to bite
Cooper
you, dude.
Webb.
I don't have Coop in my top 5, but I might swap him out, dude. I really feel like he's the dark horse, other than Kenny.
So what's your deciding factor? You watch qualifying?
But Webb never qualifies good anyway.
Yeah.
You can't even count that. You just got to go off of like how mad is he that he got beat by Nicoletti in a moto last week and how badly he needs to rebound. That's all you can go off with Webb and just know that guy holds a chip on his shoulder and, he shows up when it's race time.
True.
But anyway, everybody, that's what we got. I mean, this is it. This is what we've been playing for all year long for outdoors, and now $50,000 up for grabs for
Triple
3
points.
players. Triple points this weekend for fantasy and for the riders. So remember, get your picks in. And also remember, too, even if somebody hasn't played the first 2 rounds, anybody who signs up is still eligible to win one of those $300 payouts for Rocky Mountain Cash.
Yep.
So
prizes.
get people to sign up this weekend. Get them excited for Supercross coming up in January, which, holy crap, it's almost October.
It's coming quick.
We're just 3 months away.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We're almost a full year.
Fantasy is a year-round gig now.
That's
Chase, that's why you have. Hey, you're right. That is. No, I've been safe with my picks up till now. Getting burned, dude. Look, I did.
You got to gamble this time.
I ate the hot peanut, which means I can freaking pick whoever I want. Screw that thing.
Earned it.
But everybody, look, remember, go to the Discord if you haven't already. The link to that is in the description. So we use the Discord year-round for Supercross, Motocross, and for the SMX. That's where we have the live chat. Or not live chat, but we got the general chat. You can DM everybody. I see everybody in there commenting all day on race weekends, which is awesome. People putting in their picks. We have the meme submission, which Gunny's been going off lately. So go check out all the memes. Look at that, dude.
Like that one.
Kind of figured I was going to be in one of these. That sucked. I mean, I don't want to reminisce too much, but that sucked. But, yeah, so go check out all the different memes that are made in there. Submit a few if you want to.
Yeah.
That was the Chris Farley. Oh, SoCal Redneck
relate.
that posted that one. Yeah.
Yep.
It's basically how everybody
Watching them
felt.
Oh, this one was real good.
He don't care.
Nope.
I mean, he won't do it again, but he doesn't care. Are you missing James in the booth?
Well, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. I think he's good.
I like James.
I like him in Weege.
He's got a lot of personality. I
don't like James and Ricky in the booth very much, only because all they do is just talk about their day. They just talk about I feel like they just reminisce back in the day when you and I raced. It's like, well, we don't care. Like, this is
Let's talk about
let's
today.
talk about today. Let's live in the now. I'm just I like James and Weege in the booth. I think they do good. Yeah, RV would be cool. Because just RV's a little bit more current. Like, he's doing Race Day Live, but put RV in the freaking show. That'd be cool.
That'd be way cool.
I'm going to see him on Saturday.
Oh, heck yeah.
Do Race Day Live with RV.
That's awesome.
I'll be on there.
That'd be sweet.
But, yeah, so make sure to go to the Discord. Oh. Yeah, I saw that, and I saw the Sexton interview, and I don't think it was that big of a deal because every new generation, like, look, from Ricky to Sexton, what are we, like 3 generations past or whatever?
Pretty much.
So you're going to hear that every time. Everyone's always going to say, well, it's different than in their day.
Yep.
But
you can only race who shows up and who's there that weekend,
I
right?
think that was my favorite one. That was probably my favorite. Oh, gosh. There's going to be a fire lit under some butts coming into this weekend. There's going to be some fires lit.
Yep.
And I'm excited for
be
it.
good.
But thank you, everybody, for watching live. Remember, we're going to have a follow-up show on Monday just to go over the weekend of racing, and we're going to announce the winners for the cash prizes on Monday, so stick around for that. But, yeah, we've had an absolute blast this entire season. Shout out to Chuck for taking over the SMXperts and SMXperts role this year. And thank you so much. We've had an absolute blast. We love fantasy. We love everybody who's been watching these shows, who's been chatting live with us. We do this because of you guys out there. And please, all the sponsors that do fantasy throughout the year for outdoors, indoors, support the brands that support fantasy. They are the reason that we're able to do this. So big shout out to all of them. Shout out to Feld, to MX Sports for coming together to do this whole playoff thing because it's been awesome to watch. I know us as fans, we are spoiled, and I'm excited.
Me too.
Chuck?
It's going to be a good weekend.
I need to beat you once.
Hey, you want to do a double or nothing bet or what?
Hell no. I do not want to do a double or nothing. I ate half a peanut. My ears almost bled off a half a peanut. No, I will not do it again.
All right.
I would like to see with bleached hair, but I will not do it. Anyway, all right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in live. We love you, and we will see you on Monday.